So we finally have some updates on GPT 4.5 and GPT-5. Let's go over them. Sam Altman made a post on X and he's talking about sharing his roadmap for GPT 4.5 and 5. The first thing he talks about is how bad the model picker experience is currently for users. Now I have a pro account and look how many different options I have. GPT-4o, GPT-4o with scheduled tasks, O1, O3 mini, O3 mini high, O1 pro mode, more models, GPT-4o mini, GPT-4 legacy model. Then you have this temporary chat toggle. So just a really poor experience. Then you have a separate product for Sora and a separate product for Operator. And then we're not even done. Then you have a button to turn on and off web search and a separate button to turn on and off deep research. Why do I need that? How does the deep research button get affected by which model I choose? None of this really makes sense. It is very confusing and they are trying to simplify it. And I'm very happy to hear this. The perfect experience, for me at least, would be a single unified box that knows what it needs to do based on my prompt. This is also very akin to the multi-model future that I am very bullish on. Whether you think large models are going to dominate the future or many small models are going to dominate the future, there are going to be many models. And the idea that the average user is going to know which model to choose for their specific use case on a prompt by prompt basis is absurd. So what I want is a model router. So here's the most basic example of what that's going to look like. You have your query, you have your trained router that knows based on the query which model to route to, and then you have different LLMs to use. Now, obviously this should say domain A, domain B, domain C, but fine. And in the open source world, we have products like Not Diamond, and I'm a very small investor in Not Diamond, so full disclosure there. And what Not Diamond allows you to do is submit a prompt, and they're going to use their internally developed model to decide which open source model to route your prompt to. And you can optimize for price, speed, quality, anything. And you can even define your own optimization metric. So now back to OpenAI, imagine rather than this dropdown, you just had a very simple interface and it knew if I'm asking a question, it should be able to know whether I'm going to need live data from the web or not. If I'm asking it to do a research project for me or answer questions on a complicated subject, go ahead and use deep research. If I'm asking it to go accomplish a task on the web, go ahead and use Operator. Same thing with Sora. All of these things can be solved just by understanding the intent of my prompt. And so back to Sam Altman's post, we want AI to just work for you. We realize how complicated our model and product offerings have gotten. We hate the model picker as much as you do and want to return to magic unified intelligence. And it's going to be so nice when they do that. So now some updates about GPT 4.5. This is the model that they've been calling Orion internally. So a lot of the rumors that the next model is called Orion have been right. We will ship GPT 4.5, the model we called Orion internally, as our last non-chain of thought model. Very interesting. GPT 4.5 will be their last non-thinking model. So kind of the end of an era here. GPT 3.5 changed the world. GPT 4 was a massive jump. GPT 4.5 will be the last one without thinking. Then after that, their top goal is to unify the O series of models and GPT series of models by creating systems that can use all of our tools. Now, Chubby, friend of this channel, contributor on the Forward Future newsletter. By the way, if you haven't checked it out, forwardfuture.ai, please do. Asked Sam Altman just a few weeks ago about what his plans are and if he had any plans to merge these different models together. And the answer was yes. And now we have more information. They are going to merge the models, the O series of models and the GPT series of models. And this is a good thing because the model should be able to determine whether it needs to do extended thinking or not. Again, based on the prompt. All of these things should not be offloaded to the user to figure out. It should be able to use all the tools, web search, image generation, vision, voice, and actually I didn't even talk about voice, advanced voice mode. All of these things need to come together. Thinking, so all of these different tools can be used in one singular model, or at least that's what the user should think. And so it should know when to use thinking for a long time or not, and generally be useful for a very wide range of tasks. Now for GPT-5 updates. In both ChatGPT and our API, we will release GPT-5 as a system that integrates a lot of our technology, including O3. So that's very very interesting. Are they getting rid of the O family of naming? GPT-5 is going to be this all-encompassing thing, and I guess they're focused on the GPT naming convention. We will no longer ship O3 as a standalone model. Very interesting. And free users are getting a lot more for their non-dollar, I guess. They're for free and they're getting a ton more value now. So the free tier of ChatGPT will get unlimited chat access to GPT-5 at the standard intelligence setting, subject to abuse threshold. So there's a couple things to unpack here. Standard intelligence setting. Now, again, I wish they did not have settings like this. Just simplify it. Just tell me the intelligence needed for any given task. For the API, obviously give a lot more customization, but especially for free users, why are they having to decide? Or why are they even having to know about it? But fine. And subject to abuse thresholds. I'm not quite sure what that means. That might mean if somebody is trying to use it in a way that goes against the terms of service, or does that mean a free user is trying to hammer the rate limit or something like that? I'm not actually sure what is meant by that. Now, here is what Plus subscribers get. Plus subscribers will be able to run GPT-5 at a higher level of intelligence. And for Pro users, Pro subscribers will be able to run GPT-5 at an even higher level of intelligence. These models will incorporate voice, canvas, search, deep research, and more. So you can kind of think about this as like buying an Apple laptop. When you buy an Apple laptop, you get the standard set of hardware, but you can pay more for faster chip speeds and more memory. And it's kind of like that here. For free, you get the standard set of features. For Plus, you get the increased intelligence. And then for Pro, you get even more intelligence. And I suspect you're also going to have a much higher rate limit at the higher tier plans. And it's really nice because he says the models will incorporate voice, canvas, search, deep research, and more. And that is what it should be. Now, again, channel friend Chubby asked, any ETA on GPT 4.5, Sam Altman? Weeks, months? And he replied, weeks, months, which is basically a non-answer. And not just that, we got another update about current usage. So 2 updates you'll like. This is from OpenAI. OpenAI O1 and O3 Mini now support file and image uploads in ChatGPT. This is incredibly important. These thinking models now can access files and images. They have vision, which was a huge limiting factor. And they raised the O3 Mini high limits by 7 times for Plus users, up to 50 per day. Really, really good updates. They are continuously giving us more intelligence to work with, a larger rate limit. So I'm very happy to see these updates, a unified experience across web, mobile, desktop. This is going to be critical for the app experience. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.